Okay, so on today's episode, I have my cousin. Not even my cousin, to be honest, I say cousin because he's closer in age, but really he's my nephew. He's my child. He's my cousin baby. So I have Kwaku. Hi Kwaku, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. Yourself?
I'm sneezing. I'm having like a hay fever episode, but it's fine. It's all right. We'll live. And yeah. So, could tell us a bit about yourself, and then three fun facts about yourself, and then we'll delve into the questions for today.
Okay. So, so I am Nana Kwaku Amoako, and I'm from Ghana.
Mhm,
Everyone knows about that. I grew up in Ghana for 18 years,
mhm,
and yeah, I mean, I have three other siblings.
uh-huh.
So we're four boys, no lady,
God.
and yeah, no lady. Like that's how strong the house is.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in my second year of uni from September. And yeah, I'm into IT.
Mhm,
And okay, three fun facts.
mhm, mhm.
Everything is fun about me, to be honest.
I think you've got okay. Let's put facts about yourself. We'll take out the fun bit because I think the fun bit brings a bit of pressure. So we'll take out the fun bit.
Okay, okay. I'm not a certified graphic designer.
But but he knows more than a lot of the qualified ones.
Yeah, so I'm a graphic designer.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm an instrumentalist,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
I'm a part-time artist, as in
Yeah.
like draw stuff.
There's the English word for that artistry. What's that English word for it?
Which one?
The one that you do with the machine and doing stuff. What's the name of that one?
Oh, pyrography.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm a pyrographer as well.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is there
So
any other fun facts you
that's
want?
all I can remember. Maybe you tell me something I don't know.
Okay, so Kweku is basically like my my tech everything new day assistant. Like if I don't know anything, I'm like, Kweku, what we doing? Any like thing to do, like I don't know, but anything fancy with like tech and stuff, Kweku's like my go-to person. But I've tried to learn things for myself. So yeah, even uploading things on IGTV, yeah, Kweku's my guy. Legit, Kweku's basically my assistant. That's what he is with like techie stuff. So that's him. So when I was doing my pageantry stuff, Kweku was my assistant. But anyway, so that's Kweku. Okay, so you touched on a few fun facts which will lead to what we're going to speak about. So we're speaking about careers today. So I feel like this will be the longest conversation we've had in English in our lives because we all speak in Tree, always speak in another language. So
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know.
I'm like, oh, and I'm like, no, we need to speak in English, Akuya. Okay, so so you spent so far you spent most of your life in Ghana. So you grew up
Yeah.
in Ghana and then you came here. So tell us what home looked like when you were growing up. So I know you've mentioned an all boy gang, but tell me what home looked like when you were growing up. So who did you have like as your what's what I'm looking for, like your role models in your family when you were growing up?
So growing up, um, I've always lived with my auntie and my grandmother.
Yeah.
So I really didn't have a father figure around me,
Mm.
but that wasn't an excuse because um, my auntie and my grandma were both my mom and my dad at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I wasn't really pampered, but I was treated like a prince, but I wasn't really pampered.
Yeah.
Literally, like I do everything at home, and I learn everything I'm supposed to learn at home. And growing up, who did I have as a role model?
But
I
like a
think
father.
it was it was a it was a family friend
Mm.
actually, because he was our church choir master as well.
Okay, and
So
you're in
he was,
music.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I used to look up to him a lot because
Mm.
he used to play the keyboard, the drums, and everything basically. So he was the one that I was looking up to the most.
Okay.
But it got to a certain point, I'm like, do I actually need a role model? Like, you do need a role model, but I got to a point where I was like, no, I'll be my own role model.
Okay.
I have to become a better version of myself. Do you get it? So yeah, I do not have a role model.
Okay.
But I was telling someone one time that if I'm supposed to, if I'm forced to say, to mention a name, I'm gonna mention Lewis Hamilton now.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually like that guy
Why Lewis
because
Hamilton? Because I don't know that you drive like that too. Why Lewis Hamilton?
I know I know. So the fact that he's the only um black guy in F1 means a lot to me,
Mhm,
to be really honest.
mhm,
And
mhm.
the fact that he's not just black, but he's excelling where he is.
Yep.
He doesn't fail all the time. Do you understand?
Mm,
And there's been backlash here and there all the time. People bash him here and there all the time, but he still stands.
mm.
And he doesn't really bring himself down and neglect his culture because he's in the midst of foreign people.
True. True.
He's still who he is.
Yeah.
Um, I saw a tweet from him, I think a week ago, about the protest and everything. Like,
Mm.
he was actually being vocal. Do you understand? So I like everything about him. Everything about him is just
I would have
nice.
never
Yeah.
said Lewis Hamilton, but anyway, I mean, it's an interesting stance to look at it, and I think
Yeah.
is also key to acknowledge and highlight the fact that he's basically like the token, quote unquote
Yeah.
token, in his field, and he's actually doing well. So like he's the only guy, and like he's representing us well, type of thing. So yeah, very good point on that one. Okay, so you're the oldest. Um,
No.
you're second. Okay, second.
Yeah.
But how? Okay, so as much as you didn't have a role model or a father figure in the setting at the start, you still had your invisible father and mother, of course, around
Yeah.
you. Um, did you feel any form of pressure, even though you like consider you're the second one? Because obviously the first one is set like the what's the word I'm looking for? Set the boundary at a certain level. So ideally, either you do as well as the first one, or you do better. Did you feel any sort of pressure when you were doing that at all, when you were growing up? Pardon.
Not really. No. No.
Guy.
So that's how come people say in G, what's wrong? Like we to
Mm-hmm.
know kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're
that's
a
not the
show
reason why. So the
Mm.
thing is, growing up, because I was raised up by these women,
Mm-hmm.
they they wouldn't let you do wrong. And
Mm.
you can't do wrong even if they don't sit you down to advise you.
Mm.
Growing up in my home, we don't sit people down to advise them on what's going on what they are doing wrong, on what they are doing right. It's just eye contact and
It's enough. Yep.
you just pick it up straight away. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I was literally thinking about this yesterday. You should actually give your relatives a reason why they should doubt you. And I didn't give them the reason to doubt me.
Mhm.
Because growing up, say in my household, if someone leaves 50 cedis on the floor, you can go outside and come back and the 50
It
cedis
will
is
still
gonna
be
be there.
there.
Unlike some household, you come back and it's not there. You ask them who took the money. I don't know, but
Mm.
it's right in their pocket. Do you
Mm.
understand? And I
Mm.
did things how they wanted me to do it, even though sometimes I didn't like it.
Mm.
I'm under their roof. What should I do?
Of course. Of course.
And I knew the training I was going through was gonna pay off one day.
Mm.
And it wasn't a thing where I was in a position to rebel against whatever I was told to do, even though I didn't like it.
Mm.
You have no say. Like in Ghana, you can't chat.
Mm-hmm.
Just do what you're told to do. That's it. You
Mm.
can't back chat.
Mm.
So yeah, my auntie called me recently. She was like, "How's UK and everything?" I'm like, "Everything is okay."
Mm.
And one thing she told me that I've been thinking about since, she's like, "You know yourself. You know where you come from, and you are someone that um we don't advise you, but you advise yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But you advise yourself." That made me think, really?
That means you're.
Is that
And the thing is, so far, the advice you've been giving yourself has been good enough, or else you would have been in a different situation. So,
thing?
yeah,
And it's paid off in a way because when I came here, people always have a tag on people that come from Ghana to live in the UK.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, wayward, yeah, this, yeah, this, yeah, that, yeah, that. So I think people were actually looking forward to see what I would do.
that side of you, yeah.
Yeah, if I was gonna stay home or not. But
Mm.
I actually proved them wrong.
And
And
because you're an Anim anyway, I think it's because you're an Anim person. So you're
it
a
runs in the
dependent.
family.
You're the new boy. So of course, I mean, listen, we go against all odds. We go against what people think of us. So
Exactly,
that's what it is.
exactly. And
Prove them wrong.
I've actually made my dad proud, my
Mm,
mom proud, everyone around me proud.
we are.
And I'm actually not gonna give them a reason to doubt me, a reason to not believe me. Do you understand? Yeah.
Mm,
And there's no point where I've never lied to them. That's the thing.
mm-hmm,
I've
mm-hmm,
never ever lied to them. I always tell them the truth. If
mm,
I'm going through a problem and I can't tell them, I'm someone that keeps things in me a lot. Like things I'm going through, like it will
mm.
be hard for me to talk to someone about it, even my relatives, people around me. But if I open my mouth,
There's a lot
it's
inside of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually know me, and that's basically it.
And it's worked out for you. Well done.
I know. Thank you.
Okay, so on to the next question. So we know what home looked like when you were growing up, and I feel like because prior to 18 was like your developing years, I want to, and obviously with a clash of cultures as well, and then coming here, I want to tap into when you were younger. Do you feel like you were allowed to dream? Do you feel like you were able to do whatever you wanted to do? Like your mum wasn't at home, so it was literally your aunt and your grandma. So there's a connection, but to a certain extent, like the greatest love is from your mother. Well, of course, it's from God, but really is your mother and your father. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not trying to weigh love here, but you know that connection. My mom said this, I think it was about 4 years ago, and that thing has like is literally embedded in my skin, where I was going somewhere and I was running late, and I didn't call my mom to tell her I had arrived at the destination. And she sent me a text message. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just forgot to text you." And then she's like, "Oh, when you go for your break, call me." And I was like, "Okay." And then literally what she said was, when a child is born, my mum she's not deep. Like she's doing the comedian. My parents are quite, you know what they're like, and you're quite jovial. But my
Yeah.
mum was like, on like as much as when a child is born, the umbilical cord is cut. It's physically is cut, but spiritually and mentally is forever going to be. I said, you weirdo. So she's like, if you're crying, I may not show tears physically, but I'm feeling it too. If you're upset,
Yeah.
I'm upset. If you're happy, I'm happy. If you're stressed, I'm stressed. So I said, okay. So that's why I keep on weighing like maternal love to paternal love. But anyway, that's that. But when you were younger, did you feel like you were able to dream and say, I want to be a mechanic, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an IT guy? Did you feel like you were able to just strive and do whatever you wanted to be, do really and do in future?
Yeah. 100%.
Good.
Because where I live, there was freedom,
Shut up.
but to a certain extent,
Mm.
reasonable freedom, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Yeah. So if you tell my grandmama, auntie, you want to be this in future, there's no way they're gonna say no. You have to be a doctor. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's that freedom. Be whoever you want to be, so far
Mm.
as you're comfortable in whatever you're doing.
Mm.
So when I was young, I wanted to be a pilot. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a pilot,
Mm-hmm.
and along the lines, I had this African what is it called? Superstition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, really, pilot? Nah. So I dropped it.
Got scared.
Yeah, exactly. I dropped it. And then when I got to junior high school, as they call it, I said I wanted to be an architect
Mm-hmm.
because I was I'm not bragging. I was the top technical drawer in my school.
Come on. Come on. Energy. Energy.
So,
Uh-huh. Go on.
There's a difference between visual arts and there's a difference between technical arts. So I was good in technical as well as visual arts, but I did technical arts in junior high school and I did visual arts in senior high school. So in junior high school, my teachers were like, "You're actually good, like with what you do." So I was like, "I want to be an architect then." So after the school I got after junior high school, um, the course I offered, that was visual arts, I could have still done it and become an architect as I wanted to be.
Mm.
And one thing that put me off was because they didn't do elective maths.
What's that?
That's a so there's core maths and there's elective maths.
Oh,
That's how weird it is.
oh God.
And
So is that equivalent to like further maths? That's what it's like.
I think so, yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah,
God.
be really deep, yeah.
Mm.
They didn't do it. And I was like, really? So how can I chase my dream then if they don't do elective maths? Because I need that
To do the architecture and
together with everything I'm going to do, yeah, to become an architect. Anyways, I said, yeah, cool. I'll just do this. Choosing that course, visual arts, because when you're transitioning from junior high school to senior high school, is a career path that you're taking.
Yep.
So you don't want to make a mistake there. Do you understand? And in Ghana, there's this perception that visual arts students are the dumbest.
Because there's a
They know
creative thing, isn't
nothing.
it? It's vocational. That's what they label it as, and
Yeah,
it's not a traditional course
good
like
for
history or
nothing.
English or science. Yeah.
Exactly. We are not respected. Do you understand? But choosing that course, my grandma, my auntie, and everyone around me actually made me feel love because there's this perception that visual art students end up becoming painters. Not painters as in painting art, but painting
As in
people's
the
buildings.
wall and the,
Yeah. But I had a different mindset. I had a different perception.
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I'll do it. So I went. My uncle was in the school. My uncle happened to be my biology teacher.
Mm.
And he was like, "You're actually good. You don't belong here. Like, you don't need to be in this class. You're exceptional. So you need to be a science student."
Mm.
So my granddad, that's your uncle, one of your uncles, came to the school. He was like, "I need to change my course." I was like, "No, I'm comfortable where I am. I need to be a science student." I'm like, "No, I'm fine." Do you understand? Because they didn't get
They didn't
why I was
understand
doing
it.
visual
They
art.
didn't understand it. I'm just hoping, if I think for future reference, we know what the family's like, but for future reference, I'm trying to see if I can get one of them to come on here. It will be a very interesting conversation to get into. But I think you know what it is with them. I think as a family, we're quite creative and we're quite good with our hands as a
True.
family. So we don't have. I think maybe from like, so in this instance, from the past gen, they didn't have to go to school to get the qualifications to do what they're able to do today.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's I would they probably call it a talent. That's their talent. Is what they thrive at. Like you can't test the Inimboys at anything to do with their hands. Like they're fantastic, and they can cook, they can clean, they can build, they can do whatever they need. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't put that past the Inimboy. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
so I guess because they did that, they wanted some sort of diversity in careers. So I think even with doctors and like the traditional professions like doctors and lawyers and stuff, I think it's more for present gen or future gen. That's where we're getting more careers like that. And I think they tried to push us in. I think that's why one of your grand uncles, i.e. my uncle, probably pushed you to
Yeah.
sciences. But they need to understand sometimes it's what the heart wants. That's what the heart is going to get. Because there's no point in you doing something that you don't enjoy. So I'm happy that
Exactly. Yeah.
your grandma intervened, because if she didn't,
Yeah.
you're doing something that you don't want to be doing right now. Oh.
So I was still doing it anyways. And funny thing, I was always top in my class.
Mm-hmm.
Always top in my class. It was only once that one guy brought me down to second on the table. And I was so pissed about that anyways. And
Second, somebody's even striving to do 10th, cry, they don't even get you.
and it
Second.
was a class of 40, 45, 49.
Mm.
So it's two classes anyways, A and B.
Mm.
Visual A and visual B. So together we were all about 105. So it's like, you know, in tree how they say Bibi Papa Bibi Timothy Nazareth Abba.
Something good from Nazareth can come.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just happened, and it was time for school elections
Mm.
because our predecessors were on their way out, and they
Mm.
had to vote for new
Leaders and
prefects.
stuff. Yeah.
So I remember my grandma came to visit me one hot Saturday, and we were just taking a stroll on campus.
Mm.
And my headmistress saw me and my grandma,
Mm.
and she was like, can you excuse me? Sorry, can I speak to you?
Mm.
So I went close, and she was like, are you Nana Kwaku Amoako? I was like, yeah. She was like, what position are you going to stand for? I was like, I'm sorry,
You didn't plan on standing.
I'm not really into that. Yeah. Because first of all, I'm a visual art student. No one's gonna vote for me. The teachers don't like us. Like, what do I need to do? Do you
Mm.
understand? She's like, I was even wondering how she got to know my name because we are a lot in the school,
Mm.
1,000 plus.
Mm.
So she was like, do you want to be the head boy? I was like, no. She was like, go for that position. I didn't want to disrespect her, so I was like, okay. So I
Mhm.
left and I told my grandma about it. She's like, I should just do as she said. So my teachers were also pressuring me because I was in the lowest class in the school and the lowest league. So because of my standard, I was compared to the top-notch students in the school, like
Mhm.
the science students, the general art students, like all business students. Like how? I
Mm.
stand no chance. But they actually pushed me. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I did it. And I actually brought them down.
Mm.
And for the first time in history, a student from the visual art class became the overall school prefect in the school. And that was a massive achievement because I was
History.
thinking about I was thinking about it. I was like, really? Like visual art students? And that brought some respect to my class as well.
Mm.
Because if you think about us, we do everything bad is us.
So you're noted for, yeah.
It's us. And I
Mm.
was even wondering why I won that with a huge margin.
Mm.
Because give me work, I wouldn't do it.
Mm.
Punish me, every punishment, you see me there.
Mm.
Come to class, I'll sleep whilst you're teaching. My friends will tell you, oh, he's not well. Every day, I've got headache. Every day, every single day, I've got headache. And I don't know how it came about, but everything happens for a reason. Do you understand? Yeah.
Mm.
And
Mm.
when I came here, when I was applying for college, they demanded my testimonials and everything. So that helped me
Mm.
as well.
Mm.
So yeah,
Well done.
I was allowed to dream big, and I'm still dreaming big.
Yeah, yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like as you speak, you've answered some of the questions that I had coming up to anyway. So it's all relative. So I really like the fact that I'm so glad that you still practice and use the knowledge you gained from visual arts in school now. Obviously, like the newer programs, the better programs across, like every year there's a new app. Well, I say every year, probably every day, I don't know, but there's continuous development with these technical stuff.
Yeah.
So it's fair to say that you've used your knowledge from visual arts to now pour into your graphic design and your flyers and all the IT stuff you're doing. Now, do you feel like, I mean, of course, things have changed in terms of you wanted to be a pilot and then now going into the art. So from, do you feel like you are, do you feel that anything has changed your career path in the last, say, I don't know, since you've been here? Because obviously in Ghana you had dreams, but then here your dreams have included, I mean, of course they've increased due to age, different location, all things like that. Do you feel that your career path has changed a little?
Yeah, yeah, massively, massively. So when I was still studying visual arts, I wanted to become a graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to become a soldier as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came to the UK, my dad asked me, I remember my dad asking me, what do you want to do in college? I said I wanted to do graphic designing. They were like, really? You want to do that?
Like.
Yeah. And at that time, I was a newbie. I knew nothing
Mm-hmm.
about the system over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went by everything they told me to do. I was so naive. I knew nothing.
Mm.
So my parents were like, graphic designing, you won't actually get a job out there when you're done with college. When you're done with uni, like the jobs are not really,
It's not as
you
wide
know,
as.
yeah. So can you change it a little bit? So
Mm.
my dad was like, what about HR? I'm
Mm.
like, nah. And my mom said, what about IT? I was like, okay. I accepted IT without thinking about it. But later on, it actually paid off, and it's still paying off
Good.
in the sense that even in my IT, I can still do graphic designing.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
And that has helped me because in Ghana, whilst I was studying arts, everything we did, because we didn't have the facilities and we didn't have the necessary tools that we needed to do whatever we wanted to do, we did everything by hand.
Mm.
So say if you ask me to do a flyer for you,
Oh
I'll
wait,
do
hold
it
on,
by
hold
hand
on.
as opposed to,
Go back to when you were doing the art thing. Sorry. So in Ghana, you're using arts. Sorry, something about art.
yeah. So when I was still studying arts, we did everything by hand the traditional way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We were not exposed to using laptops and computers.
Mm-hmm.
We were still using them in our IT lessons, but I come from a place where 3 people share one computer when it's time
Mm-hmm.
for IT lessons.
In turn.
So the struggle, yeah. So when I came here, actually before college, I came in February, and college was in September.
Yeah.
So between that time, my mom was like, okay, so there's a local library here. Do you want to volunteer as an um, IT volunteer?
Well, yeah.
What do I really know about IT? Like, I mean, the Queen's town, like the Queen's country, like they know everything here. I can't bring my small thing from Ghana and tell them, yo, do it like this, do it like this. Nah, but I actually did it, and they liked me in the library.
Mm.
3 months down the line, I was nominated
Mm.
in my local newspaper. It
Mm-hmm.
was my council's award ceremony that they do every year.
Yeah.
Met community awards, and I
Mm.
was nominated for the Young Person's Achievement Award because of my work in the library,
Yeah.
and that was my recognition. Like people got to know me,
Mm.
and it's like, okay, I'll take it further. I'll do the IT that my mom suggested.
Mm.
So I did IT, and even in IT,
There's so
when I
many
when I
branches.
exactly when I went to uni, there was a part of my course where we did designing. So you have to design screen design, storyboards, mood boards for a website.
Mm.
So I was still in it. I was part of a group. I was still in it. I was still in it. I was still in it. Like we do prototypes upon prototypes.
Mm-hmm.
So my lecturer actually saw my works and she was like, she called me Leonardo because of that.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, are you an artist? I was like, I studied arts. She was like, so why don't you do graphic design or something?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nah, I just want to do IT. And she was like, so can I look into UI designs? I never knew what was UI designs,
I don't
but
know what you are
she
doing.
suggested it, like user interface designs. So say the iPhone you use or the Samsung you use, to the interface that you see is being designed before it's being coded.
Okay. So either the Android
So
interface or the what's the Apple one?
everything,
What's the Apple one called?
iOS,
Uh-huh, that's the one. Okay.
yeah. all of it, Windows, iOS,
Okay.
Android, everything.
Okay.
We design it, and then the programmers code it for it to come into existence.
Mm.
So I was like this design thing I said I was gonna do through IT is actually easy. You
Mm.
understand?
Mm.
And even with my flyers, I never designed a flyer in Ghana using a computer. I
Mm.
only started when I came to the UK,
Mm.
and I've been learning day by day, day by day, day by day, and I'm actually sharpening that skill that I have. And I'm not gonna drop it to the side and say
No. No.
I'm actually using it. And people like the fact that people like it make me think, oh, I didn't choose a wrong path. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
You're doing something
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Good.
So that's it, really.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So, yeah, I think I've asked you most of the questions. Okay, so we need to start wrapping up. Do you feel like, I mean, now you're in uni and of course you're working towards all your career goals. So I know you're working part-time in the army doing
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you don't do that, but just just basically when you're fighting, you're not fighting and that soldier stuff in the army, but then you're doing IT R&B stuff, and then you're also doing your graphic design stuff. And I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic at such a young age that you're doing all these things, and it's great to experiment at such a young age now. So I commend you for that highly.
And there's one thing.
Oh yeah,
Um, there was a point in my life where I didn't want to stick to one career.
good. Thank you for being a
So
dreamer, because people want to limit people to do one thing.
no. So I told my mom. I told my mom, and I keep telling her, and she's been saying it all the time. That, do you remember you said this to me? I told her I actually want to do almost bits of everything.
Yep.
So when I die and you're reading my tribute, you can say, I was once this.
Yes,
I was
exactly.
one
Yep.
that. I
Yep.
was one that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be limited.
Good.
That's why I don't actually call for perfection, because you
Mm,
can never be perfect.
mm,
Because people say jack of all trades is a master of none. Yeah, cool, I understand it. But me being a master of all trades, I fill in gaps where there's a need. Do you understand?
mm-hmm.
If I go to a church where there are instrumentalists and they need a drummer, because I can play the drums, I can fill in. If there's no guitarist, I know I can
No,
play a
to
little
fill
bit. I
in.
can fill in.
Straight.
I don't need to be a master. Do you
Straight.
understand?
Straight.
That's it.
Straight.
And
Straight.
I'm always actually looking for new opportunities that I can exploit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
people born in this country don't see that. But
Mm,
people from outside, we actually see that,
mm,
and we take advantage.
mm. The opportunity
That's
is
the thing.
the opportunity is there, so you
Exactly.
make the most of it. Yeah.
Exactly. And even with the army stuff, um there's a branch for uni students, but they don't know about it. It's called the UOTC,
Okay.
Universities Officers Training Corps.
Okay. I'm going to put that in the
So
description, by the way, just in case someone wants to get into that. But yeah, go on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So with that one, if you're a uni student and you're looking to join the army sometime in your life,
Mm,
that is a starting point for you.
mm,
And they actually set that up as a leadership kind of thing. So it actually like build
the
people's
skill stuff.
confidence and
Mm,
things. Like, people come there really timid, but they leave the UOTC like with some strange charisma and everything. Like, do you know?
mm,
And me being in the reserves already, I actually went to the UOTC because I moved from London to Leicester.
mm,
And so like I see people like, you actually want to join the UOTC, like
mm.
people come and you're asking yourself, are you capable? But I remember I was once like that.
And you're far from where you started from, so
Exactly,
you know.
exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's no limit. You shouldn't limit yourself
Good.
at all.
Good. And
That's
just
one thing,
hold on.
especially us black people
Mm.
tend to do a lot.
You reckon we
Like,
limit
I,
ourselves and like our dreams?
yeah, I want to be a doctor. Doctor, that's it.
But don't you feel like that's coming from pressure from parents sometimes? So, like, for instance, they have certain regards, like they disregard certain careers in comparison to other careers. So,
Yeah,
do
100%.
you know what I mean? So essentially, like, if I was, well, okay, I'm just using me as an example, but not me me as a Ghanaian girl. If I went to my parents at the age of 15 to tell them, oh, I want to be a graphic designer in 2000, it maybe in 1995, they'll laugh at me in my face. But if I told them that maybe, if I told them that in 2015, they wouldn't laugh as much because they've seen that Mark Zuckerberg has been able to be successful through all this computer stuff.
Yeah,
So they'll be like, oh, okay, well, this guy's done it, so it's fine. But the thing is, they see certain careers on TV and they regard it as, they highly regard it, oh, my child's a doctor, my child's a lawyer, then, all of that jazz. So I think that's what it stems from. So I think people essentially are shaped, unless you have a really, really strong mind, you're shaped by what your parents think is okay to follow. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
I have a friend who went through that
Mm,
in this country, and actually her her dad actually didn't allow her explore what
mm,
she's really into.
mm.
You have to be a doctor for me. You are a doctor. So
It's like
go to school,
I did.
don't go study medicine and all of that.
No, but you know what's annoying about
And
that point though? The fact that because the parent wasn't able to be the doctor, they're now trying to be the doctor through their children.
exactly.
Don't anger me today. The worst thing is like, oh, because I couldn't do it, you are going to do it for me. Why did you not do it for yourself in
Yeah,
the first place?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And even choosing unis for that person, she wanted to choose a uni of her choice,
mm.
but her dad actually wanted another uni, Oxford. She actually did it, and she didn't get Oxford. She got another uni, and her dad was a bit mad,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. It's happened
Basically,
already, you
yeah,
know.
done. And this,
So
I think, is also key to highlight if parents know the structures that they have to go through. So it's like, oh yeah, Oxford, or I want my child to go to Oxford, but do you know that the students go into summer school to train to get into Oxford from like a very young age? Your child didn't go to that summer school, so do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? Like it puts you. I'm not saying it's the answer to get into Oxford, but it puts you
mhm,
in a better position because you're with like-minded people.
yeah,
But if you have been here every summer, when it's summertime, when the ice cream man comes, now you're just hanging behind the ice cream man and you're going now. Well, do you know what I'm saying? Like there's structures to go through. And I think it's very important for parents to learn those structures and how people get to where they need to get to in order for them to
yeah,
motivate their children. So I'm happy you brought that one up because it really started a
yeah,
conversation, but I'm very happy about it. Okay. So we need to wrap up because of time. But
sure, yeah.
what would you advise to what advice would you give what would you advise to, what English is that, what advice would you give to parents, your grand uncles really, so like my dad and his brothers and everything,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them with regards to careers in 2020?
Um, just so like I'll just tell them like we're in a world where things have actually changed over the years.
Mm,
Things have changed massively.
yep.
The things you lot used to do back then, it's been reformed, and
Mm-hmm.
we're doing it better now. And it's a thing where even a 5-year-old says, I'll become a footballer. They put them in a football team and they
Mm-hmm.
grow up to become footballers.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen to your children
Mm-hmm.
and know where their interest lies so
Mm,
you can let them follow what they actually want to do.
mm-hmm.
I'm growing up in your household. You see me
Mm.
always cooking. I actually like it. And you tell me to go be a nurse, a
No, even something like a policeman.
exactly.
There's no
I,
correlation.
you see me cooking. I said I want to be a chef. I said no. That's where my interest lies. And you know I'm actually good in doing that. So just really the thing is about listening to us
Mm,
because they don't want to listen. They actually want to say, do it. You have no say. But
mm,
actually, please, we are begging you.
mm,
Listen to us and know what we are actually thinking. That way you can um advise us what to do and what not to do, as in the wrongs and
Steer in
the
the right
right
direction.
on that path.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But not just coming out of your way and imposing everything you want us to do for you, for ourselves. It wouldn't work like that. I was recently having an argument with my mom about having a beard. She's like, oh, she's talked to one of my cousins about his beard, and like he's doing nothing about it. I was like, Mom,
It's not your
a
business.
beard is nothing. It does, because you lot think if we grow beards at this age, we do not respect. That's a thing of the past. We don't do that.
The people
I
without beards
respect.
who are doing crazy stuff.
Exactly.
Huh.
The fact that I've grown this doesn't mean I'm older than my pastor, I'm older than my dad. No. I give them the respect that is due them.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. So please listen to us and let us follow our dreams.
I hear you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would you say to present gen? So late 20s to early 40s, they started having their children, so their babies really. What advice would you give to them? In
Present
what's the
gen.
sequence?
Let nothing bring you down. Number one. Number two, do not compare yourself. Like, people say that a lot, but people don't take it into consideration. Like, if I compared myself, I wouldn't be in uni by now, because I think I'm way older than the age you should be
On
in,
paper.
say, uni level 1 or level 2. I'm gone past that age. Do you understand? But if I compared myself to people that had finished uni and they are 2021, I would have sat down and do some cleaning to get a lot of money. Do you understand? But do not compare yourself. And whatever that is your dream, just get people that support that dream, people that are in that field to support you. Because you can't just go by your way and think you're going to have everything 100%. Because the people in that field know where to pass, where not to pass. And they're actually going to shape you into who you want to become, into the path you actually want to stand on. So that's all I've got to tell them.
Okay. And then 20 seconds on what you tell future gen. So your friends and the younger ones, what would you tell them?
My friend, people that come from Ghana to the UK,
Hey, that hello was 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
It's actually tough, but all I'll say is be focused and don't think you have to be part of the gang. Like, don't form part of what the society wants you to be. Like, be exceptional, and people accept you as you are. And yeah, just that.
Well done. Okay. Okay, so people would want to know about how they can get involved with like your graphic design, like order stuff. Want to know more about your story. If they want to book you to come and do all of those things, where can they find you? And your clothing line. Oh my god, I cannot believe we didn't even mention that. Sorry, but yeah, I just mentioned that too. I'm gonna put all of them in the description. So yeah. So where can people find you on all those things, and then we'll wrap up. Well, we've even wrapped up.
My design page actually is not on socials yet. Because I'm working on something beyond myself. So I just want to take my time on that. But on Instagram is L Cappuccino. L Cappuccino. And my clothing line is FBG London. FBG LDN on Instagram. That's where you can find me. And yeah, we have a lot coming. So just watch out.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to put that in the description. So thank you so much. Listen, I think we could talk about this career thing for ages. We could speak about all the other stuff. I think that's the family. So I'll just try and leave it. But yeah, I appreciate you, and I pray that all your endeavors blow and go beyond your imagination. So very well done. I'm forever proud of you.
Thank you too for this opportunity. Thank you. God bless you.
Mwah. Okay.